What do you think about that? We should be over there, right?
Well, what do you guys want? I mean, some people mad because they're over here. Some people mad because they're over there.
We get shade over there.
I want to be in the shade.
Yeah, you guys got shade over there.
It's inhumane right here.
I'm just mad we couldn't get video of your DBs. That's all.
What do you got? What we got?
I give you $20. You talk to Helton. You get us over there.
What do you guys got on the agenda today?
I want to know about your young guys. I want to know about the freshmen. That's why I always want to ask about the first couple days of practice.
Right.
What are you seeing out of the two safeties and the two cornerbacks that just got here this last month?
You know what? Great effort right now. Guys, they've been running around in basically underwear for the last couple of days. You know, today we had shells on, so that's what you know. I've seen great effort. You know, we put some defense in. We put a good chunk of defense in. So, you know, like most freshmen, they're swimming a little bit, but you know, you just want to see them run around in the effort that they have chasing the ball. You know, for the most part, as long as they're not turning guys scot-free, you know, we can adjust to that. We can always, you know, tighten it a little bit here, tighten it a little bit there, but you know, for the most part, great effort. That's all I can tell you. I mean, when we start Saturday, I have a better idea when we go full pads.
Coming out of spring, what did you tell Jack Jones? What did you want him to improve?
You know what? I mean, just him improving as an overall player. I wanted to see him improve in the off season from a strength standpoint. You know what I'm saying? And he's done a great job. I think he's stronger right now. But that's really, you know, one of the things that I look to improve. You know, out here it's going to be, you know, attention to detail, and you know, hopefully, just being able to take care of the little things, knowing what the little things are, so you don't have to be reminded what they are each and every day. And he's looking like he's coming along. Okay, it's still a process now. He's a young kid. He's only a true sophomore, so it's still a process.
And he mentioned
made a decision on where Jamel's best.
You know what? No idea yet. You know, it's still early in camp. You know, we'll figure this out as, you know, we start to get closer towards the season. But right now we're trying him at a few different spots. We've lined him up inside. We lined him up outside. The kid's running around and he's showing great effort. He doesn't seem frustrated. He seems to be picking it up quite well.
Could you see him playing maybe multiple roles?
You know what? That's something that, you know, we'd have to, you know, take a look at. But right now, you know, it's still early. I couldn't even give you an answer on that one.
Did he struggle a little bit after the start of spring when he had the 3 interceptions in a practice and, you know, got a lot of notoriety?
I don't know if you say struggle. I mean, sometimes, you know, it might be one of those days you just get, you know, you have a great day. It's one of those things, you know, you put in more defenses, things kind of speed up on you. You kind of get overloaded with a few things on your plate. But nah, I don't think the kid, like, I wouldn't say he struggled. I think at point in time, I mean, he kind of felt like he processed some things. But for the most part, I mean, I always grade kids on their effort. For the most part, if they're blowing a whole lot of assignments, it's up to us coaches to give them what they can handle at the end of the day.
Because he always talked about having to learn playing corner when he was used to being a safety.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, that's a technique standpoint. That has nothing to do mentally. Because mentally, you know, there's a lot of things from a corner's perspective. It's not going to be a whole lot of mental workload on your plate. You know, it's more of a technical workload that you got to, you know, work through when you're at corner.
Are you comfortable that he can play corner in a college football game right now?
You know, that remains to be seen. You know what I'm saying? We get through camp and he hasn't taken a snap on it for, you know, in the regular season, you know, for the Trojans here. So, you know, he'd have to get out there doing a regular snap for me to answer that question.
What about Achille? You looking at him in nickel?
You know, he's playing, you know, that kid, great effort, runs around on the field well. It's going to be one of those things where, you know, he can play inside, he can play outside. He's got the physical ability of, he's got the physical speed of a corner, probably with the safety body, you know. I love the kid's attitude, and he comes to attack practice every day, and that's basically what I appreciate from that kid. That kid's running around, he is flying around, and I love it. The fact that he's taking a more aggressive role in special teams is what's kind of, you know, exciting. And that's what, you know, that's basically what I can say about him. But like I said, it's our 3rd day, guys. I'd love to just tell you that, hey, we got this guy, we're gonna be playing this guy here. But, you know, 3 days in and no padded practices, it's gonna be kind of hard for me to give you guys a little in-depth, you know, report on what these guys can do.
Is that a Jenny or Achille?
We were talking about Achille.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, sir.
With Jack, he got thrust into kind of a big role in the Rose Bowl.
Yeah.
There.
Yeah.
What do you want him to learn from that? What has he learned?
Well, I hope that we felt comfortable putting him in at that stage of the game in a good environment. You know what I'm saying? It was a great environment to be able to be thrown in and just to see if you can handle it. And he handled it pretty well. You know what I'm saying, for the most part. But it's like I told these guys earlier. It's how did he handle it when he came into this offseason? Was he just going to rest on what he did there and he was happy with that? Or was he pushing forward and looking to challenge for a starting position this year?
So you've only seen the 3 shorts practices, but so what are the questions you have at corner in terms of who can play and who can't play?
The questions I have at corner is who's going to step up and who's going to step up and be consistent, because that's what it's going to become about. Who can absorb the defense and be consistent executing it out there on the field. Other than that, you know what I'm saying, it's going to be a toss up, you know what I'm saying, or a guessing game for me to say anything, what's going to happen in the future. But from these 3 practices, it's going to be finding a sense of consistency with that group.
Do you envision Biggie Marshall being a kind of guy that can shadow a receiver throughout a game?
Are you trying to? I think Marshall, he does a good job. As a matter of fact, people always assume that we were always putting the Dory on the other people's best receiver.
The other way around. That wasn't always the case.
That's what everybody always assumes. So that's not always the case. If you guys think it, go look at a couple of NFL games. They don't always put their best corner on their best receiver. So it wasn't always the best receiver we stuck him on. But Marshall's the kind of player that whatever we give him from a responsibility standpoint, he's always stepped into it and never shied away from it.
What games last year would you put Marshall on?
Last one.
Like their best guy?
Washington.
Yeah, he was coming. People assumed that John Ross was a threat. What about the other kid was playing just as well as he was?
Touchdown pass.
Was it Pet? What's his name?
Pettis.
Yeah,